Hello everybody, Ed Moses. As you know, I like to read. I do a lot of reading because I think that reading is one of the most important things that you can do for your brain, for yourself. You know, as long as you're reading educational books, things that are broadening your scope, making you more business savvy, more psychologically savvy, whatever, you know, good reading material, things that are generating good thoughts for your mind and just for everybody. So I'm going to do a little review here on a book I just finished reading. It's called 3 Magic Words by U.S. Andersen. I don't know if you've heard of that book. It's kind of an older book. I believe this is the original copy from 1954. It's actually it's a paperback. I don't usually buy paperbacks, but so strange story how I got this book. And I'll lead up. I'm not going to tell you how I got this book, but what I am going to tell you is I've had this book laying around my house for 14 years. Just recently, over the past few years, I have been really studying hard on my business mind, my psychology, my psychological way of thinking, because it is my goal to totally improve myself and totally become the best person that I could become no matter what. And I realized kind of on my own, like a few years back when I started reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, that this is the type of stuff I should be reading, things I should be paying attention to. But then when I got into Big Idea Mastermind, Vic Strisius was really adamant about the 30-30-30 program. And I've told you about that. 30 days you take and read for 30 minutes, good reading material, educational, positive stuff, audio that's positive, things that are going to feed your mind good stuff. And you do it, like I said, for 30 days. Well, you know, back a few years ago I was reading, but I wasn't doing it that way. I'd listen to audio off and on because it made me feel good when I did read it, but I didn't realize the importance of doing it every single day, and the same with the reading the books. And I'll tell you what, if you haven't done it, if you've never tried doing it, you got to do it. So, but anyway, I need to get off that, and I'm going to talk to you about the 3 magic words. The book is actually has a lot to do with the subconscious mind, and I've really been reading a lot of material on the subconscious mind lately, and I'm really starting to understand more about how that works. I don't know what you know about the subconscious mind, but I can tell you this. The subconscious mind is probably the most powerful tool that you can use. And how do you use the subconscious mind? Well, it's simple. Whatever you feed to the subconscious comes from your conscious mind. It comes from what you see coming from the outside of you. The subconscious, of course, is the inside. And it makes a world of a difference what you feed it, because you may not be asking the same question as what you're receiving. Does that make sense? What you want may not be what you get. That's what I should say. And why is that? You may say you want something, but in the back of your mind you're saying, I can't have that. That's not for me. I'm not capable of that. Well, that's a lot what this is about. It's got to do with the subconscious mind. How to break these bad habits. Get away from making yourself less than what you really are, because the conscious mind is actually, and if you read this book, this is pretty much a premise of what it's trying to say. The conscious mind isn't even real. It's not real. It's actually something that it doesn't really exist. The conscious mind has a beginning, it has an end. Just like your body, you're born, you die. That is just part of life. And that's the conscious mind. The conscious mind does not go with you. When you die, the conscious mind goes. But the subconscious never ends. It never goes anywhere. It stays there. Because whether you believe this or not, if you read this book, you might think differently. But the subconscious mind, we share. Every one of us share it together. Now, does that seem possible? How does that seem possible? But let me ask you something. Have you ever had a moment where you're around somebody, but you can just tell that they're thinking something? They're not saying it, but you feel that they're thinking something? Why is that? Well, think about that. If we're all sharing the same subconscious, and it's all being used by everybody, then how could we not feel that? Yeah, it makes a lot more sense. And you know, I've read a lot of books on this. And this one really, to me, kind of really summed it up better than any of the other books. And the other thing that I found very interesting about this book, if you dig deeper into it, what U.S. Andersen is saying about this subconscious is that the subconscious is actually God. It is actually God. We are part of God. And we are responsible for everything that's around us. And I know a lot of people, they don't want to hear that because they think their life is bad, or it's somebody's fault it's bad, or it's the economy that made it bad. But you know, it's because of what you fed through your conscious mind to the subconscious mind. You're receiving only what you ask for. You may not even be knowingly asking for it. And this Deepak Chopra says, you may not even really know you're making a decision. But you are always making a decision. Even if you don't consciously realize you've made a decision, you've made a decision. Every morning when you get up and you go to work, have you really made a decision to go to work? Not really. You know, consciously, you're not thinking about it. You just do it because it's something that you do Monday through Friday. You just get up, you do it. Well, on a subconscious level, you have made a decision. You don't realize you've made that decision, but you have made a decision. And simply, that's what this is about. Your conscious versus your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind will never die. When you're not here, your subconscious mind is still here. You are still part of it. You will always be part of it. You're a part of the whole matrix, the whole maze of everything. So, in short, maybe you might think this sounds crazy. I don't know. But it's a very interesting subject to me. It's a very in-depth subject that it messes with a lot of people's religious beliefs, and that comes up quite a bit too. A lot of Christian type of reference in this book, but on the other hand, he does mention Hindu religion and Buddhist type religions, and doesn't cut any of them down. He doesn't cut any of them down. But what he does say, that everything that has in common, whether you're any religion, no matter what religion you are, God is a good God. God is a good God. God is not a hateful God. And what happens with some of these really strict Christian churches, they want you to believe that God is you know, if you don't do this, you're going to hell. Well, according to this book, the negative things really don't exist. It's only positive. Everything is made up of love. Of love. The negative actually doesn't even exist. It's just part of the conscious that's make-believe that we create in our world that we think is actually physical. So, anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I want you to read this book. If you get a chance, read this book. See what you think of it. You may totally disagree with it. You may totally love it. You may totally find it appealing and realize that there's some truth in this. So I've got some more videos I'm gonna shoot here about the subconscious, and some more things that I've learned that really excite me to the ends of the earth. You know, it's crazy. So anyway, I will talk to you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you give this book a chance. Go read it and see what you think. Talk to you later.